Hello everyone, this is Abhi Kalia and welcome back to the Gear Trip series. You're watching the second last episode of this amazing train journey. Today is 29th March 2025. Last evening, I arrived in Bhavnagar from Amreli by bus after completing my Metergate trip in the Gir region. After reaching Bhavnagar, I checked into the G1 rooms and dormitory where I stayed for one night. In the dormitory, just 500 rupees for a night. After a much needed good sleep, I woke up early around 5 o'clock in the morning time, got fresh, took a bath, and without wasting any time, I hired an auto rickshaw just outside the hotel property. The auto guy took me straight to Bhavnagar Terminus railway station, and today, after reaching Bhavnagar railway station, I would be boarding the train number 20966, the Sabarmati Intercity Superfast Express, which will take me to Ahmedabad. Although the train is named Sabarmati Intercity Superfast Express, the train will actually terminate at Gandhigram station, which is quite close to Ahmedabad Junction station. And after reaching the station, I directly went to the platform where the train was already standing. 20966 Sabarmati Intercity Superfast Express has a good variety of coaches, from second sitting sleeper class to an air-conditioned chair car coach. For today's journey, I booked a sleeper class ticket for myself from Bhavnagar Terminus station to Gandhigram station, and it just cost me 215 rupees. The train departs from Bhavnagar Terminus station at exactly 6 o'clock in the morning time, and it will cover a distance of 247 kilometers in just 3 hours 55 minutes. It is categorized as a superfast train and is hauled by an electromotive diesel locomotive for the entire stretch of its journey. The route runs on the newly converted broad gauge track, which was earlier a meter gauge line, passing through Botad Junction before entering Ahmedabad. So stay tuned as I take you through another exciting train journey full of scenic views and railway action. Bhavnagar, a coastal city in the state of Gujarat, holds a unique place in India's railway and maritime landscape. At one point in time, this region was served by meter gauge lines, but after the gauge conversion of the sea frontier railway routes in Gujarat, broad gauge connectivity has opened up through links from Bombay, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and even Delhi, reaching deep into Gujarat's coastal countryside. But what truly sets Bhavnagar apart is its strategic coastal topography. It is directly linked to south of Gujarat, not just by land but also through a much faster sea route. And the fastest way to travel between Bhavnagar and Surat via the sea is through the DGC Connect Ro-Pax ferry service. This ferry operates between Goga port near Bhavnagar and Hazira port near Surat. The sea route covers a distance of approximately 90 kilometers, which is much shorter compared to the 360 kilometers journey by road or rail. While the road or train journey usually takes 10 to 12 hours, the ferry ride takes just around 4 hours, saving both time and energy. The DGC Connect runs a Ro-Pax, roll-on roll-off passenger ferry, which means it can carry not only passengers but also vehicles like cars, bikes, and even goods transport vehicles. According to the DGC Connect website, this ferry is a convenient option for both travelers and businesses, making movement between Bhavnagar and Surat in the south of Gujarat faster and more efficient. This ferry is fully air conditioned, equipped with two on-board cafeterias, and also features a top viewing deck where you can enjoy the fresh breeze and the majestic views of the Arabian Sea. In terms of capacity, this ferry can carry up to 316 executive class passengers, 78 business class passengers, and 14 lounge class passengers. Whether you are a tourist, a local, or a business traveler, this ferry brings a refreshing new way to explore Gujarat's coastal charm. So next time you are in Bhavnagar and heading towards south of Gujarat in Surat, consider this scenic and time-saving journey over the Arabian Sea. Now we are arriving into Sihor Junction station, a small town station located between Bhavnagar Terminus and Dhola Junction station. It's a peaceful town in the Bhavnagar district, and the station serves as a key halt on the Bhavnagar Botad line, which is part of the recently converted broad gauge route. Now as we depart from Sihor Junction, our train slowly starts moving towards the main line leading to Dhola Junction. The powerful EMD diesel locomotive at the front starts picking up speed, and soon we are going to glide smoothly through the countryside. The early morning breeze coming in through the windows feels so fresh and soothing, a perfect way to begin the day. To the east, the sun has just started to rise, painting the sky with shades of orange and gold. Watching the sun rise from a moving train is truly a magical experience, something that words can hardly describe. The gentle rhythm of the train, the cool breeze, and the scenic rural views all around make this part of the journey feel calm and beautiful. Next, we would head towards Dhola Junction, an important interchange point where lines from different directions connect. Stay with me as the journey continues through the heart of Gujarat. Now our train picks up some good speed as we continue on our journey towards Dhola Junction. With the train racing through the open countryside, it is a real joy to just sit by the window and watch the landscapes and scenery fly past. Green fields, distant trees, tiny village huts, all flashing by in a blur thanks to the speed. The strong morning winds blowing through the windows added more thrill to the ride. And let me tell you, it was very cold in the morning hours. I was literally shivering, even with my jacket on. That sharp cold breeze hitting your face at this speed, it is something you only get to feel on such early morning train journeys. But despite the chill, it felt refreshing. The fresh air, the peaceful surroundings, and the rhythm of the train all coming together to make this a memorable stretch of the ride. Up next, we approach Dhola Junction where this route meets with other major lines. Stay tuned as the journey continues. The sun has finally risen on the eastern horizon, spreading its warm golden rays across the fields. It feels so soothing right after that chilly breeze earlier in the morning. There is something truly magical about watching the first light of the day from a moving train. The way the sunlight dances across the landscape, how it gently lights up the trees, fields, and the rooftops far away. Moments like these are pure bliss, a feeling that stays with you long after the journey ends. Capturing this view from a moving train with the wind brushing past and the rhythmic sound of the wheels below is something every travel lover should experience at least once. Now we are reaching Dhola Junction station. At this point, you will notice another railway track joining us from the left side. That line is coming from Jetalsar Junction. The track from Jetalsar Junction passes through Khijadia Junction and Dhasa Junction before reaching Dhola. This particular line is very important because through Dhasa Junction, three major coastal frontier railway lines are connected to Ahmedabad and beyond. Let me explain a bit more. First is the line coming from Mahua, a small coastal town near the Arabian Sea. Then comes the track from Victor Port, which joins at Dungar station. Dungar is a station which actually lies on the route from Dhasa to Mahua. And the third line is coming from Pipavav Port, an important cargo and container terminal which connects via Rajula Junction. All these lines from Mahua, Victor Port and Pipavav Port merge together at Rajula Junction and then proceed to Dhasa and further to Dhola Junction, where we are arriving right now. From here onwards, the route connects to Ahmedabad and also links up with the main lines of Western Railway and Northwestern Railway going all the way to the northern parts of the country. This junction may look small, but it plays a very strategic role in connecting Gujarat's coastal region to the rest of the country, both for passenger travel and goods transportation. As we now arrive at Dhola Junction station, there is something very special about this place. Even though the tracks are now broad gauge, the station still gives off a strong meter gauge era vibe. The station building, the old style name boards and the simple architecture, all of it reminds us of the good old days back when the meter gauge trains used to pass through here. In fact, the whole setup still carries the charm of the British era and the time of the princely states. It feels like stepping into a piece of railway history, peaceful, slow-paced and untouched by modern day rush. For someone who loves trains and heritage, Dhola Junction is definitely a place that brings back beautiful memories of the Indian Railways past.
Platform 3. यात्रीगण कृपया ध्यान देशो गाड़ी क्रमांक 20996 साबरमती सुपरफास्ट एक्सप्रेस भावनगर टर्मिनस ती चालीने साबरमती तरफ जवा वाली ट्रेन આવી ચૂકી છે यात्रीगण कृपया ध्यान दें गाड़ी संख्या 2
Now, as we are waiting at Dhola Junction, A train from Bombay has now arrived on the opposite platform. The train is heading towards Bhavnagar Terminus station and is being hauled by an electric locomotive. With electrification now completed on many routes in Gujarat, we are seeing more and more trains with electric locos. Even in stations like Dhola, which once had meter gauge and diesel operations, it is interesting to see how new technology meets old heritage. At stations like this, the sound of the electric locomotive and the classic station building both side by side, showing us how Indian Railways is evolving while still holding on to its history. And if I start speaking about Dhola Junction, the station still carries the charm of the old meter gauge days. The station layout, the platform style, and the building design all reminds us of that era. It feels like a living museum of Gujarat's railway heritage. Now we are moving through the open fields of coastal Gujarat, slowly making our way up towards the northern direction. The landscape here is vast, open, and peaceful, with fields stretching on both sides. It adds a special charm and excitement to this journey. You can really feel the freshness of the countryside, cool breeze, golden sunlight, and the raw smell of soil in the air. Our train, with its powerful EMD diesel engine, is notching up at full force, smoothly gliding through this beautiful terrain. Moments like these make you feel connected with nature and remind you how scenic and underrated some of these routes in Gujarat really are. we arrive at Botad Junction station, marking the end of this episode. Yes, the second last episode of our journey finally concludes here. But do not go anywhere. Stay tuned for the thrilling ride from Botad to Gandhigram, where we will travel on the newly converted broad gauge route, a stretch that was once meter gauge till the very recent times. In the next episode, we will take you through the exciting new route from Botad to Ahmedabad. And if you have enjoyed watching this video, please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you soon in the next episode. Until then, take care and safe travels.
Iya.